And last night, CBS aired its 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris. Now, the program has interviewed the candidates in every presidential election dating back to 1968. But Donald Trump backed out this year. And before airing the interview with Vice President Harris, 60 Minutes began with a note about Trump. Here's part of that explanation.
It's been a tradition for more than half a century that the major party candidates for president sit down with 60 Minutes in October. In 1968, it was Richard Nixon and Hubert Humphrey. This year, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump accepted our invitation. But unfortunately, last week, Trump canceled. The campaign offered shifting explanations. First, it complained that we would fact-check the interview. We fact-check every story. Later, Trump said he needed an apology for his interview in 2020. Trump claims correspondent Leslie Stahl said in that interview that Hunter Biden's controversial laptop came from Russia. She never said that. Trump has said his opponent doesn't do interviews because she can't handle them. He had previously declined another debate with Harris, so tonight may have been the largest audience for the candidates between now and Election Day.
I think it's fascinating. Being fact-checked. I love when people fact-check me. I really do. I love, if I make a mistake, I want to know what I said that was wrong. People can disagree with me. Opinions are one thing. But I want to be fact-checked. If I say something wrong, I want to know that. Like most adults that I know are the same way. The fact that Donald Trump and his vice presidential nominee are so horrified at the prospect of being fact-checked suggests, well, it's the tell.
First, that was suspect. Come on. Do you guys see what they're doing? This thing is so loaded. Before I get you guys in on this, I want to show you exactly what Trump was referring to when he said that the nasty wench played him during the initial interview. We have that clip here. All right, this is the clip where he was talking with, like you mentioned, Shelley, Leslie Stahl. This is the one where he was saying she treated him unfairly. And you all be the judge, because what 60 Minutes should have done was they should have shown this to give reference of what Trump was referring to, how he was mishandled or treated poorly. Here we are.
Him walk out of a store, and he's walking with an ice cream. And the question the media asked him, what kind of ice cream, what flavor ice cream do you have? And he's in the midst of a scandal.
He's not.
And he's taking,
He's
of course
not.
he is,
No,
Leslie.
come on.
Of course he is. It's the biggest, second biggest scandal.
So,
the biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign.
There's
Leslie.
no real evidence of that.
Of course there is.
No.
It's all over the place. Leslie,
Sir,
they spied on my campaign and they got caught.
Can I say something? You know, this is 60 Minutes, and we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie, they spied on my campaign.
Well, we can't verify
It's been totally
that.
verified.
No.
It's been, just go down and get the papers. They spied on my campaign, they got caught.
No.
And then they went much further than that, and they got caught. And you will see that, Leslie, and you know that, but you just don't want to put it on the air.
As a matter of fact, I don't know.
Wow. So this is what he's referring. Were they spying on his campaign? It has been proven that they were.
Yes.
And it has been proven that the Hunter Biden laptop story was true. They owe him an apology.
Absolutely.
Really?
That interview happened after the Russia gate had been, like you said, had been debunked, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, the way I think that was Bill Whitaker, I can't remember the guys, the announcer, they framed that to make Trump look like he was stupid, like he was lying. All of these media personnel, journalists, whatever, and don't get me wrong, in general, 60 Leslie Stahl and some other people in there, they do a good enough job. But like I said a few minutes ago, it applies to our media. These are people. They vote too. They vote for the people that they want, and their bias also shows up in their supposedly unbiased interviews. This is BS. That interview with Kamala Harris, I know we're going to get into a little bit more, was no, they characterized Trump as basically backing out, all to basically be in the Kamala camp. Basically, these people are for Kamala. The media is going to make her look her best. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about her policies and what she's putting forth. They're going to do everything they can do to make her look as if she's presidential and that she knows what she's talking about. You all vote for her. You all vote for her, Americans, and you're going to be up Schitt's Creek, just like those people in Tennessee and North Carolina.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And you saw how, Michelle, you saw how in the interview, he said, he made it seem like Trump is avoiding the interview. Trump is avoiding the press. Kamala Harris, came out and she's doing the interview, something that they've done for years and years. When we know that she and her running mate have done far fewer interviews than Trump and JD Vance. Axios published back on September 19th showing how many more interviews Vance and Trump have done over Wall, specifically Vance. For TV, JD Vance has done 24 more interviews than Waltz. Waltz had only done one at the time. Local TV, Vance had done 15. Waltz has only done one. Press conferences, Vance has done 12. Waltz hadn't done any press conferences. And the same with Kamala. Very few, much fewer or far fewer press than Trump. But in that exchange, they're making it seem like Trump is the one that's dodging the interviews.
Well, let me just say to the second clip that we watched, I don't need you to apologize. We know the press is not going to apologize. They don't know how to say I'm sorry. They don't know how to tell the truth in the first place. But admit, correct. This is about correction. And so when they say it might be a blip somewhere in a newspaper and it doesn't get published. It's time for them. It's time for us to call them out. And it's time for them to say, look, just for fair journalism, yes, there was a mistake made. Yes, we're going to fact check. They just needed to check themselves, all of them at this point. Tell the truth. If you lied and you know you lied and you covered it, tell the truth. Now, I'm going to go back and I just want you to understand. So my background, right, I have a degree in theater performance. And the media right now, these are supposed to be journalists that have been in this for so long and we need to take them seriously. And I can't take them seriously when everything is dark and stormy and they're setting up the deepest narration that anybody is ever going to hear, right? So they're leading you into this movie, right? And so you're buying their narrative because the way that they're saying it and the way that they're staging it. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about facts, but they're going to stage this and make it sound believable. That's what I was watching. I was thinking, what is this movie going to start? Is this the intro? I'm waiting for the Star Wars, lines to start coming down and tell me what else is happening. I can't take them seriously at this point, and they won't admit when they're wrong. And they're wrong.
Listen, Kamala, you were there. Why didn't you go to the Congress and introduce legislation to lower the tax rates on W-2 employees? I mean, if you think that they're being taxed unfairly, you could have done that. It's consistent with her whole thing where she's, on day one was damn near 4 years ago for you. Okay. We don't have a president right now. You can go sit in the Oval Office and start signing stuff. Nobody will care. All right. Show us what, Kamala, if you want to win, this is going out to Kamala Harris. If you want to win this race, put your policies in effect right now. And if they work, you will walk away from this the winner, hands down. Why do we have to wait? It's like when Biden said, "Oh yeah, if I win, I'm going to cure cancer." If you win, you're going to cure cancer. Why can't we have the cure now? All right. So these people are
full of
a joke. Like Ms. Talkington said, it's nothing but theater. She just wants the 747 people. She's not going to help you.
She's financially illiterate. I own a small business. I'm telling you right now,
recently visited.
top percent pays and unemployment taxes. They make this world go. They are paying so much in taxes. We want to attack them on their personal taxes, but those businesses are what's sustaining us right now. That's why that's never going to happen. So it's a talking point.
Right. You know what? You know what? She never. You know what? I'm going to say they, the left in general, but certainly Kamala Harris. You know what they never say? They always use this this trope about nurses and firefighters pay a higher rate. But you know what they never say? And the corporations need to pay their fair taxes. They never say that the nurses and the firefighters and the teachers need to have their tax rate lowered. They don't say that. What they say is the corporations have to pay a fair share, whatever that means, which means that if they believe that the nurses and the middle class are paying high taxes, well, what they're going to do is bring it up. The corporations is going to bring it up to meet it. Nobody's getting taxes lower.
Right. And it's just like Warren Buffett when he was out there talking about, well, my secretary pays a higher percentage of taxes. Well, it sounds like you need to pay your secretary more. Okay. And Warren, anytime you want to stroke a check to the IRS for more money, I guarantee you they will take it. You don't have to wait. Put your money where your mouth is, man. The same guy that's been in litigation with the IRS for years over some money he doesn't want to pay them, by the way.
Well, my question is this, and maybe you can help me with this, Tyrone. Why don't we just have a flat tax? 1% for everybody. Is something wrong with that?
I think that's an idea. I think what the better idea is to cut spending. All right. Not only is our spending pretty much guaranteeing that the children of today are going to inherit one hell of a mess, but it's also sending a signal to other countries around the world that the dollar is not long for this world in terms of it being the reserve currency. All right. And when it is not anymore, we did a video on Great Britain and how the state of the British people, their standard of living. Okay. Remember, the pound sterling was the reserve currency before the dollar. Once you lose it, okay, and then before that, Spain had it. Okay. Look at these countries that had that privilege, squandered it, and where they are now.
Yeah.